Today I messed up by giving my dog Pumpkin. So I have a little doggy who is my entire life, my sweet baby Gizmo. She's a 13-year-old Shih Tzu who happens to have chronic constipation issues. Thanksgiving was just a couple of days ago, and Gizmo was having the best day of her life. She doesn't get table scraps often, but she is a bit spoiled and will demand food if she knows we're eating. She got quite a bit of turkey and ham, and whatever my grandma gave her. So that brings us to today. I let her out this morning to go potty and watched her squat for a good 5 minutes, nothing coming out. This does happen from time to time, so I used the usual remedy of canned pumpkin. I, however, was not paying attention to the amount and just plopped a spoonful on a plate and let her eat it. I assumed she wouldn't eat it all. But she did. Fast forward an hour later, I let her outside to go potty and noticed the largest turd of my life stuck to her tail and butt hair. She has thick hair and I've kept it longer than usual since it's getting colder, so sometimes she gets dingleberries but I always double check and clean them off. This turd was the size of my fist. This is not the first time I've had to pull shit out of her ass, so I put her in the tub and grabbed some gloves. Let it be known that Gizmo hates baths, but this usually goes over pretty well. Not today. As I'm heating up some water and trying to slowly untangle the most rank-smelling shit of my life, she decides to jump out of the bathtub. This is where the fuck up happens. As she jumps out, her tail flies up, which inadvertently flings shit all over the bathroom. It looked like a crime scene. Except it was a crime scene of stinky smelly turd splatter. In my panic, whilst also trying not to vomit, I desperately put her back in the bathtub, clean her off as best I can, and went to grab cleaning supplies. I mopped, scrubbed, wiped every single surface at least 3 times, but I can still faintly smell rank dog turds. This has officially been the worst day of my life. Today I messed up by answering my phone. Warning, sensitive topics. Location, Appalachia, where people tend to call whoever in the family is most medical adjacent to ask medical questions. While not a doctor, very close. Note the subject in question is a licensed paramedic. So I'm sitting at my apartment, watching the market, drinking an import Buffy, when my phone rings. It's my dad, so I answer. Hello? Dad says, hey son, can you talk for a minute? I say sure, I'm not busy, what do you need? Dad says I need you to not ask questions, at all. I was having the deed and bent my thing. I think I broke a vein too because there was a lot of blood, but I've got it stopped with a cold compress. I'm pretty sure it'll bleed again if I go to pee. What should I do? Knowing a little about it since I looked up the Peyronie disease drug to figure out how it worked, I say, you need to go to the hospital, the bend is a surgical fix. Dad says, okay, thanks, and hangs up. I have zero idea who he was with. Mom is several years dead, and just helped him move from his previous partner a month ago. Currently trying to find a place that is sorry about your thing balloons, because how often does this opportunity arise to poke fun at your parent like that? Today I messed up by eating undercooked asparagus. So I, 19M, should start by saying I ate the asparagus 2 days ago. For Thanksgiving, my mom made asparagus and I guess it wasn't quite cooked all the way. Out of politeness, I ate all 6 stalks that I had put on my plate. They weren't gross, just difficult to eat. In fact, I got tired of trying to cut and chew them, so I ate them whole. That's probably the part that fucked me up the most. Fast forward to today. I was taking a shit, and all was going well. Then, my shit just stopped coming out. Half of the turd was just dangling out of my asshole. I pushed but didn't want to hurt myself, so I composed myself and prepared for something quite unsettling. I grabbed some toilet paper and pulled the turd out. Then another one came. This time it was small and stringy. About 3 inches long, and I realized something was wrong. The next piece was easily 5 inches. I was shaking at this point. I looked at it and realized that I had been pulling stalks of barely digested asparagus from my anus. At this point I was sore and couldn't stop shaking. Then another one came. This one was pretty small, but given the massive piece I had just pulled out, it was excruciating. Now I'm sitting here on the toilet with a sore asshole and only one thing on my mind. 4 pieces came out. I ate 6. Wish me luck. Today I messed up by giving a random person my Xbox. So on Thanksgiving morning, I was meeting my sister's boyfriend, BF, and my parents at a Denny's for breakfast. I rode in BF's car with my sister to the Denny's, which for future reference is a silver Nissan Altima. This will be important later. My parents were driving a U-Haul because they were grabbing a lot of items they had in a storage unit and bringing to their new place now that they had settled in. One of the items was my Xbox One, along with 3 controllers and a Kinect. We had a very nice breakfast, and at one point Dad asked if I wanted to go dig the Xbox out of the U-Haul. We both went, got the Xbox and the accessories, and I put it in BF's car to take back with me. We then go back inside to finish breakfast. After breakfast as we're leaving, both me and my sister go to what we thought was BF's car, a silver Nissan Altima, while BF goes to an almost identical car 2 spots over. He just laughed and said, "Yeah, my car's over here guys." His car was apparently a higher grade model, silver Nissan Altima, and has a spoiler on the back, which is how he can tell. I should have realized, but this is where the FU happened. We drive back, and it's the next night that I start looking for my Xbox. I thought I just left it in BF's car, so I go check but it's not there. It's not anywhere. I then made the full realization. I put the Xbox in the wrong silver Nissan Altima. I made the same mistake of going to the wrong car twice in a row. I reverse thefted someone's random unlocked car. Who leaves their car unlocked in a Denny's parking lot? That's my Thanksgiving FU. My family has been having a great laugh over my misfortune and has been jokingly calling me Robin Hood. I'm not sure I'll ever live this down. Today I messed up by going through therapy completely baked. So, I ordered a bunch of marijuana brownies for a small gathering I had at home. It turned out that the brownies were very strong, and I had a lot of leftovers. I ate a little through the weekend, and some after I came from work in a day or two, but there was still a little bit left that I wouldn't want to go bad. So, I ate everything this morning, as I had no plans for the entire day. Or did I? After the chugging, I realized, in panic, that 5 hours from that moment I had a session scheduled with my therapist, who was in the process of diagnosing me with ADHD. Well, 5 hours is more than enough for me to recover, isn't it? No reason to reschedule. It wasn't. The 40-minute session seemed to take longer than a Scorsese movie. I would start sentences that I didn't know the end, and fake, very poorly, my sobriety for the entirety of the session, trying to respond to questions that, mid-sentence, I would forget the answer to. I was diagnosed with ADHD.